Hey friends, tonight we're going to be making a really delicious dessert. We're going to be making carrot cupcakes with cream cheese frosting, and as you know, I am big on flavor, low on calories. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be teaching you different tips and techniques of ways that you can cut the calories, especially for this delicious dish. But just to warn you, this is the first recipe we're walking through, and I'm using a camera instead of my webcam. And I have a pretty ghetto setup. So I apologize in advance if the camera seems to be swaying or fall over, whatnot. This would be a trial and error experience. So come on with me. Let's bake. Alright, so to get started, what I've done is I've measured out all the dry ingredients, which is 2 cups all-purpose flour, a half cup white sugar, a half cup brown sugar, which I prefer to use dark brown sugar. It adds a little more flavor. And here we have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, another teaspoon of cinnamon, a half teaspoon of salt, and I also added a couple shakes of ground cloves. I mixed that all together with a whisk, and even though recipes will tell you to sift together the ingredients, if you use a whisk, it will get the same effect, just to break down the ingredients together. Also, what I've done is over here I've measured out 4 eggs, a half cup maple syrup, which I use low fat, a half cup of oil, and a half cup of applesauce, unsweetened. The recipe calls for a whole cup of oil, but a good way to cut calories and fat is to use applesauce. It's a good medium, and it'll give the same consistency. So now that I have the egg off of here, what I'm going to do is just slowly add in the dry ingredients to this mixture until it's just combined. You don't want to over-mix it because it will dry out and make your cupcakes tough. We'll just slowly add that in. Give that a good mix. Smells really good, by the way. And don't worry, your mixture will look a little clumpy just because of the good dry ingredients, but if you stir it just until it's done, you'll see it gets a really nice consistency. Now what I have is I've grated 3 cups of carrots, and these are actually from my local farmer's market, and they're really delicious. And for those of you who don't have a grater, such as myself, don't panic, because I realize if you just use a peeler and just peel, your carrots will disintegrate into grated pieces. So it works out perfect. And you just want to fold these in. You don't want to give the mixture too much of a stir. So all you do to fold is think of it as just wrapping it up, just spiraling the mixture till it's all combined. Now what I've done is I've sprayed a little bit of Pam with baking. It's got a little flour in it, and into my cupcake pan. And then I'm going to show you a little trick to get perfect size, clean distribution. You'll want to use a 1/4 cup measuring cup, and then you just dump it right in there. And I'm going to be making these a little smaller because I know people get a little self-conscious about eating cupcakes. Even though these are low calorie, I feel like you can tell people that all day long and they still associate cupcakes with calories. Now, a great way to tell when these are done is the toothpick test. All you do is simply insert the toothpick in the center, pull it out, see there's nothing on it, take another one, nothing on it, so you know they're done. As you can see, I just finished creaming together with my mixer 1 8-ounce bar of cream cheese, and oh, I feel so awful. I bought the fat-free. I gave in and said less calories is more, so these aren't going to be as delicious. But in addition, use a 1/4 stick of butter, cream that together, and then So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in let me grab a spoon. We are going to add in half a teaspoon of vanilla, and I like to just eyeball it. To be honest, a little vanilla is never a bad thing. Just give that a good stir until you see it's incorporated. And then we add the powdered sugar. This recipe calls for 1 cup powdered sugar. So what you want to do is you want to put it in very gradually. This will ensure that your mixture, your frosting, stays nice and creamy. So just keep incorporating it little by little. And then once it's fully blended every time after you've put some in, then add some more. It's kind of a little timelier process, but it does ensure that your cream cheese frosting is very, very smooth and moist. Alright, so now my frosting is done. As you can see, it's a great consistency. Thick enough to spread. So what we're going to do is we are going to, once I grab a spoon, we're going to grab, these are actually pumpkin cupcakes I made yesterday. So I'm going to frost some pumpkin and some carrot cake. What you want to do is just give it a dollop. Just turn it as you twirl it. Just let your spoon guide around the edges. Just kind of smooth it over a little bit. Once you get about as much as you like. As I continue frosting these, I just want to give you a little tip. If you make this frosting, it's got cream cheese in it, so please don't forget to stick them in the fridge. They'll not only get horribly soft, but you could also make people sick since it's a dairy product. But if you're not ready to frost or you want to make these in advance, go ahead and make the frosting and stick it in the fridge. It might harden up a little bit, but take it out a few minutes before you're going to use it and give it a couple stirs and it'll be good as new. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. These little sweets will make you either everyone's best friend or, in my case, the favorite coworker. Happy cooking!